the ride was into the wall.
Golly. So the right front rotor explodes right here as he gets to the end of the front straightaway, and he's just along for the ride at that point. And Steve, we were talking off camera about how this happens. I mentioned earlier that the rotor can get hot and deform and get into the caliper, and that creates a catastrophic failure. Otherwise, there's other ways this can happen.
Yeah, let's listen into what they're thinking on the radio.
Rotor exploded. I had no soft pedal or anything.
Now we got more opening on the right front than anybody too. I don't know why that happened.
All right, so to your point, soft pedal, what does he mean? When you talked about the rotor getting so hot that it glows and hits the caliper, that normally happens because it gets so bright red that you press on it, it grows, and you get a soft pedal, meaning you press on the pedal and it gets mushy. Listen. That happens at the end of the straightaway almost before he lifts. The other way a rotor breaks is it gets hot, and then you have so much opening, then down the straightaway, it's like ice cold. It's like going out and throwing like ice cold water on a molten piece of glass. It just cracks and explodes. So what happens is you just heat shock the rotor, hot, cold, so many times that literally the cast steel cracks, splinters, and explodes. My bet would be on the latter for here. I don't think it got so hot that it made contact. I think it actually got hot, cold, so many heat cycles that the cast iron rotor itself just exploded, especially where it did. Normally when it hits the rotor, it's like you get on the brakes, it makes it grow. That almost happened right before he was gonna lift, which would be the coolest point for the rotor. Like it cooled so much, it finally exploded. Either way, result the same, and it's awful. And you know, we talked about the 19-year-old trying to run all 300 laps. So here's a race he's only run, 75 laps. He's just not going to get the learning experience he wants.
We came in here worried about brakes. We talked to a lot of crew chiefs in the garage about brakes. Everybody had a different approach. We're starting to see in this race teams talk about issues. Now we have drivers who have had issues. This will be an issue tonight, but also you think about the low downforce package, the more horsepower, so we have less drag to slow the car down. Right. You have more speed because of the horsepower. You're going to have to use more brake, have more brake pressure getting into the corner. So this was already a track where we thought brake issues. Now that's going to be worse with this type of a package. And we take this same thing to St. Louis, where they've had issues there. So the teams have a lot to think about as we move forward into the season to try to avoid these types of problems.
Big strategy opportunity here. We'll see how it plays out. Caution coming inside of 20 laps to go in the stage. Pit road is open. Here they are, Kim.
Including leader Kyle Larson. You see him top left of your screen. He said car is good, a little free. He did tell his team though, ran hard there. They will make an air pressure adjustment, take fuel and tires, Trevor.
Tyler Reddick feels like that 45 Toyota has freed up since it's cooled off outside. They'll make some adjustments to tighten him up and take 4 tires to set up for the stage break, Marty.
Trevor, almost at the end of stage 1. Question is, do you go for a quick stop here in stage points or take your time and make the next stop quicker? Adam Stevens going with option B, waiting on fuel for fresh tires. Bell said we are so close. Meanwhile, SVG said that was so much fun out there. They go with 4 tires as well, but several going with 2, Adam.
Yeah, Goodyear race off pit road, best of the bunch, +7 for Riley. His sight set on Riley Herbst.
A little bit of a bobble for that 12. Allmendinger's going to get to the back bumper. Maybe go 3 wide again. Allmendinger says, hey man, you took me 3 wide into turn 3. We're going down into turn 1. Drives that 16 to the inside of the 12 here. Side by side.
Teammates for 4th back there behind him. Bubba Wallace in the mix right behind them. What a battle for the lead. Allmendinger coming back through.
Chase Briscoe in the mix. Remember, this is a driver that started outside the top 30 in the interview pre-race. He didn't think stage 1 points were an option, and here he is battling with a chance to score points early.
Well, and the fact he took 4 tires last time around, going to put him in a good spot when you talk about the cycle to begin that second stage.
Oh, car in the wall, big crash
Ron
back here.
Chastain, 71 spinning. Michael McDowell.
Flat right front on the 1. I think the 71 might have just got kind of checked up and spun around as well.
Yeah.
We'll have to see if the flat front tire on the 1 is pre-contact with the wall or after. So disappointing. The 1 runs so well here, and he looks so good in practice. That's the happiest I had seen him in an interview. He was glowing. I couldn't wait to get this 1 car in the race.
Chastain was 14. McDowell outside the top 25.
Chastain is frustrated.
Yeah, you mentioned how happy he was after practice. I think that's as happy as he had been since he won the 600 last year.
Hey, Adam, it was another rotor.
Yeah,
Ross Chastain said the rotor exploded.
There he goes off into turn one, hits the wall.
Well, remember, another Trackhouse car. So it's worth pointing out, 2 rotor issues, both Trackhouse, whatever they think or whatever they came here with an opportunity, obviously is not working. So you wonder if SVG is going to make an adjustment to his car. That's great information, Marty. We weren't really sure what happened. We just saw the one in the wall. There you go. You see the smoke already. So now if you're Stephen Duran, the crew chief of the SVG, you are sending engineers, you are asking your team at home, what do we think we need to go? Overcool, undercool? Do we have to add some tape? As crazy as that sounds, I'm reading radios.